Mark and Sarah had been married for 7 years. From the outside, they seemed like the ideal couple. Weekend brunches, Instagram-worthy vacations, and matching holiday sweaters. But Mark always had a strange feeling in the pit of his stomach. Sarah had changed. Her smile no longer reached her eyes, and the casual affection they once shared had grown cold. She'd begun working late more often. New perfume, different clothes, vague answers. "It's just work, Mark. We've got deadlines." He wanted to believe her, so he did. Until one night when she came home at 2 a.m., smelling like cigarettes and whiskey, two things she despised. That night, Mark didn't say a word, but the trust had snapped like a twig underfoot. Mark was a software engineer, smart, quiet, and meticulous. When he decided to confirm his suspicions, he didn't confront her. He built a plan. He installed discreet tracking software on her phone, bought a hidden camera disguised as a clock for their living room. He even created a dummy social media account to keep tabs on her coworker, the one she mentioned too often with a little too much laughter in her voice. Nathan. What he found crushed him. GPS logs showed frequent visits to a hotel, not just once or twice, but regularly. Hidden camera footage revealed whispered late-night phone calls. Then came the final nail, a video of Sarah and Nathan in Mark's own living room one afternoon while he was still at work. Mark didn't explode. Instead, he got quiet, calculating. He started moving money into a separate account, consulted a divorce lawyer. All the while, he continued smiling, kissing her goodnight, asking about her day. If Sarah noticed anything off, she didn't let on. She was too absorbed in the fantasy world she'd created. But Mark wasn't just planning a clean break. He wanted her to feel what he felt: betrayed, humiliated, powerless. A month later, Mark announced he was throwing a dinner party. "For your team at work," he told Sarah, "you've been working so hard. I want to thank them, especially Nathan." She blinked, caught off guard. "You've never met Nathan." "I know," he said with a calm smile. "Looking forward to it." Sarah helped him set the table, pick out wine, decorate the house. It was surreal. Mark watched her, the way her eyes sparkled when she laughed. He wondered how long she'd been able to fake it. That evening, everyone arrived. Mark played the charming host. The wine flowed, dinner was served, and laughter filled the room. Then Mark stood. "I made a little video," he said, "to show my appreciation." The lights dimmed, the screen lit up, and the room fell into stunned silence. Footage rolled, clips of Sarah and Nathan, hotel rooms, intimate moments. Even that one afternoon in Mark's living room. Her co-workers froze. Her boss turned pale. Nathan looked ready to run. Sarah tried to speak, but Mark held up a hand. "No need," he said. "That was the best part. You never noticed the camera." By the end of the night, Sarah was unemployed. Her boss couldn't have someone like her on the team. It was bad for optics. Nathan tried to salvage his reputation, but quickly found himself blacklisted. Word spread fast in their industry. Mark filed for divorce the next morning. He had evidence, financial records, and emotional documentation. She left with nothing but a suitcase and the clothes she had on. But Mark wasn't finished. He sold the house, the one she loved, the one they'd picked together. Then he threw one last party. It was bigger this time. Friends, family, and even a few of Sarah's old colleagues came. Everyone knew what had happened by then. At the party, he gave a toast. "To new beginnings," he said, "and to not wasting time on people who treat love like a game." When the bill for the party arrived, it was addressed to Sarah. She hadn't changed her mailing address yet. Mark had made sure of that. Months passed. Mark moved to a new city. He took a sabbatical from work, traveled, started therapy, and even took up painting. For the first time in years, he could breathe. Sarah tried reaching out once, an email. No apology, just an attempt to talk things through. Mark deleted it. He'd already said everything he needed to say, without saying much at all. Revenge didn't come with screaming matches or broken plates. It came in the warmth of peace, the kind that follows when you've been through hell and come out the other side stronger, quieter, and wiser. Mark never became bitter, just better. And Sarah, she learned that trust, once broken, is rarely rebuilt, especially when the person you break is smart enough to wait and let you destroy yourself. One evening, a year after it all, Mark stood on a balcony overlooking the city skyline. A glass of wine in hand, his phone buzzed. It was an old friend inviting him to dinner. He smiled. Life had gone on. Meanwhile, Sarah sat in a small apartment, scrolling through social media, seeing photos of people she once called friend, now living lives that had moved past her. No one returned her calls. Nathan had left the country after the scandal. Her name was a warning now, a whisper behind closed doors. The woman who once had everything now had only memories and the bitter taste of consequences she never imagined she'd face. Mark didn't need to destroy her. She had done that herself. Several months after Sarah left Mark, he had begun rebuilding his life. A new city, a new apartment, and peace. But fate had a way of pulling the past back in. One day, Mark received an unexpected notification from his lawyer. Sarah had filed a lawsuit claiming Mark had stolen money from their joint account during their divorce and had submitted fraudulent financial records. Mark wasn't surprised. He had anticipated this. He'd already prepared for it. The divorce had been clean. Mark had kept everything in order: financials, documents, and even subtle surveillance on Sarah. He knew her better than she thought. The affair, the lies, the manipulation. It all pointed to this moment. What Sarah didn't know was that Mark had covered his tracks, and he had kept every shred of evidence. He had meticulously tracked every penny, every hotel stay Sarah had spent with Nathan, her lover. He had all the receipts, all the bank statements. But more than that, he had a forensic audit on their entire financial history, and Mark had kept a low-key investigation into Nathan's finances as well. In court, Sarah's lawyer confidently presented their case, claiming that Mark had been dishonest and had hidden assets. But when it was Mark's turn, the tables turned. He presented a binder filled with overwhelming evidence. Receipts showing Sarah and Nathan's lavish spending, hotel stays, and gifts. Then Mark revealed a crucial piece of evidence: Nathan's embezzlement. Nathan had been taking money from his own company, and Sarah had been complicit. The evidence was undeniable. Sarah's smirk faded as the reality of the situation hit her. She had underestimated Mark. Nathan, sitting beside her, shifted uncomfortably. Mark had prepared for this moment for months, and it was now playing out exactly how he had planned. The judge quickly ruled in Mark's favor. Sarah's claims were dismissed, and she was ordered to pay court fees. Nathan's embezzlement was reported, and an investigation was launched into his financial crimes. Sarah's reputation was ruined, and her career collapsed. Mark left the courtroom with a sense of peace. He had done what needed to be done, not with anger, but with quiet, calculated justice. Months later, Sarah reached out, apologizing in an email, trying to justify her actions. But Mark didn't reply. He didn't need to. His silence was the final message. His life had moved on, and he was free. Mark had never needed to destroy Sarah. She had done that herself.